In the early 90s, Oracle, under the leadership of the ruthless Larry Ellison, had become the most dominant relational database management software company in the world. Through ruthless strategies and borderline unethical business practices, Ellison had built himself a multi-billion-dollar empire. The key to his success was his bright recruits. Larry Ellison had a knack for picking some of the brightest software and business minds in Silicon Valley, who took it upon themselves to navigate and grow Larry Ellison's Oracle empire. These recruits greatly improved Oracle's database technology, ascending to executive roles within the organization, answering directly to Larry Ellison. However, these recruits would not be satisfied with merely being underlings in Larry Ellison's vast empire. They had ideas of their own and wanted to build them out. Initially, they tried to convince Larry Ellison, but they were met with resistance. Larry Ellison ran Oracle like a dictator. If he didn't sign off on something, it simply wouldn't happen. This left some of his bright recruits frustrated and limited, so they were left with no choice but to leave Oracle. One such case was the case of Thomas Siebel. He had ascended to the highest level of position within Oracle and had an idea to build a customer relationship management software, or CRM software for short, that helped clients better interact with their databases in a way in which they could more efficiently manage customer relationships and sales efforts. Thomas Siebel tried to pitch this idea to Larry Ellison, but he brushed it aside, claiming that it was more of a feature of a database as opposed to being a standalone product. So Thomas Siebel would leave to build out his vision and found Siebel Systems in 1993. And just 12 years after founding his company, Larry Ellison would come knocking on his door. Larry Ellison offered to purchase Siebel's company. His mistake of not listening to Siebel would end up costing Ellison billions of dollars. But Ellison didn't make this mistake once, he made it twice, as in 1999, one of his top executives pitched him an idea for a more modern CRM software based on the cloud. But Ellison thought it would never work, so that recruit, a man by the name Marc Benioff, would end up founding his own company called Salesforce, directly competing with Thomas Siebel. This set up a titanic clash between two of Larry Ellison's former top executives for the dominance of the customer relationship management market, a war in which Larry Ellison would later enter himself, but unfortunately for Ellison, it would be one of the rare battles he'd end up losing. This is the story of the Oracle Mafia and how they jostled for control over the lucrative CRM market. The story of the CRM Wars starts with Thomas Siebel. Following his studies in business and computer science at the University of Illinois, Siebel's early career was shaped by his time at Oracle Corporation. When he joined in 1984, his job was to help customers use database technology to solve their information problems. In just 6 months after joining, Siebel was promoted to district sales manager. After several more rapid promotions, Siebel became Vice President of Direct Marketing in May 1988. In his new role, he saw that Oracle Salesforce needed better tools to access customer, product, and competitor information quickly, and software to help forecast revenues. The available software products on the market didn't meet his expectations, so he asked his team to build a system in-house that better served his department sales team. The software finished development in 1989, and it was called Oasis. It was a smashing success. Productivity within his division increased by 40%, and the division achieved 149% of its sales quota, leading to Siebel's direct marketing division becoming Oracle's largest sales division. Siebel sensed that there was a market for Oasis. Word of mouth about Oasis had spread, and the president of AT&T and other major companies had asked about the software, but Oracle refused to develop Oasis as a commercial product. This would ultimately be the breaking point of the relationship between Oracle CEO Larry Ellison and Thomas Siebel. Siebel insisted that Oracle build a customer relationship management software product similar to Oasis and commercialize it, but Larry Ellison could not see his vision. Larry Ellison was primarily focused on dominating the relational database market. Ellison thought the software would be a niche application that could be built on top of Oracle's database, rather than a fully fledged product that could spawn a huge industry. Siebel, on the other hand, recognized the growing need for customer-focused software to help businesses manage sales and marketing interactions. So, frustrated by Larry Ellison's lack of interest in CRM software, Thomas Siebel left Oracle in 1990. After leaving Oracle, Siebel joined Gain Technology, eventually ending up as its CEO. Gain Technology was a tech company that focused on multimedia software. In 1992, Gain Technology was acquired by Sybase. After the acquisition, Siebel decided to become a private investor focused on funding early-stage startups. In July 1993, after meeting with the CEO of a leading Salesforce automation company, Siebel realized that no one was taking advantage of an enormous opportunity. Salesforce automation software automated and streamlined various sales processes, helping businesses manage customer interactions, track leads, close deals, and improve sales productivity. Upon meeting the CEO of the biggest Salesforce automation software company, he saw that the product and the strategies of the company were deeply flawed. The company had ineffective development and customer service strategies. Seeing firsthand how mediocre the market leader in Salesforce automation was, Siebel contacted Patricia House, a former Oracle marketing colleague, and within days, the two founded Siebel Systems in 1993. Over the following months, Thomas Siebel and some of his friends made periodic cash infusions into the company, amounting to about $1.8 million, culminating in the release of Siebel Systems' first product in April 1995. It was a Salesforce automation software product. The company targeted and designed the software to cater to the needs of high-end large corporations. It was well designed and more user-friendly than anything else on the market. Thomas Siebel took a very strategic approach to growth. He recognized the power and value of strategic partnerships, so he formed alliances with key players. He knew, for example, that implementing his company's products within customers' enterprises would require more time and expertise than his company possessed. Siebel Systems, therefore, would leave the implementation of its products, a lucrative business in its own right, to its systems integrator and consulting partners, and reserve its own personnel for engineering, support, and sales. Siebel Systems went public on June 6, 1996 for $17 per share, giving the company a valuation of over $1 billion. Through a series of mergers and acquisitions, Siebel Systems transformed itself from simply being a Salesforce automation software company to a fully fledged customer relationship management software company that integrated sales, marketing, and customer service functions into a single platform, completing the vision Thomas Siebel had ideated almost 10 years earlier. Clever strategies and product expansion gave Siebel phenomenal growth. In its first year of operation in 1995, its revenue was $39 million. By 1997, it was over $250 million, hitting a staggering $1 billion in 1999. By then, it had become the biggest player in the CRM market. Its 35% CRM market share was 3 times as large as that of the second-place vendor. They looked unstoppable, but a new entrant was about to enter the market, one with a familiar story. Marc Benioff was born on September 25, 1964, in San Francisco, California. Growing up in the Bay Area, he developed an early passion for technology. As a teenager, he demonstrated entrepreneurial instincts, writing and selling his first software program at the age of 15. By 16, he had developed a video game which he sold to the gaming company Epix for $1,500. Benioff attended the University of Southern California, where he pursued a degree in business administration. While at USC, Benioff had an internship as a programmer at Apple, where he wrote assembly code for the Macintosh. Upon graduating from USC in 1986, similar to Thomas Siebel, Benioff joined Oracle, and also similar to Thomas Siebel, his tenure at Oracle was marked by rapid career advancement. At 23, he was named Oracle's Rookie of the Year, and by the age of 26, he became one of the youngest vice presidents in Oracle's history. He would go on to work for Oracle for a total of 13 years, working closely with Larry Ellison. At Oracle, Benioff gained deep insights into the enterprise software market. He recognized the inefficiencies of traditional software licensing models, which required companies to invest heavily in infrastructure maintenance and upgrades. Benioff felt constrained by the limitations of the Oracle database software approach and sought to create a more flexible and scalable solution based on cloud computing. He tried to convince Larry Ellison to adopt cloud computing architecture at Oracle, but he failed. So similar to Thomas Siebel, he left the company and started a new venture, which was aiming to dethrone Siebel Systems' CRM market dominance. Salesforce was founded on March 8, 1999 by Marc Benioff, and among its early investors was Larry Ellison, who had seemingly learned his lesson after missing out on the immense success of his former employees, Siebel Systems. Within a few months of Salesforce founding, it had created a web-based CRM software powered by cloud computing, directly targeting Siebel Systems' dominance of the CRM market. Siebel Systems typically closed deals for hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars. In order to come and install the CRM system for large enterprises, they required prospective clients to show that they had a pre-approved budget of $5 million before engaging in any sales processes. Benioff, on the other hand, was about to disrupt that business model. He planned to charge companies per user, so if you had one user, your price would be low, rising as your company grew, a radically new approach. This pricing strategy proved to be quite a big hit. It quickly gained customers, mainly startups who were riding the dot-com boom of the late 90s. But when the dot-com bubble burst in the year 2000, it severely impacted Salesforce. Many of Salesforce's startup clients went bankrupt, leading to Salesforce laying off 20% of its then 40 employees. They ended the year with revenue of $5.4 million, far less than the behemoth that was Siebel Systems, which had recorded revenues of over $1.5 billion in the same year. Yet, despite the setback, Salesforce platform remained revolutionary. Apart from its disruptive pricing, before Salesforce, standard CRM solutions were software-driven and hosted and managed locally. Customers would purchase a license for a CRM software package that would then have to be integrated with the company's existing IT infrastructure. The companies incurred additional costs in the form of hiring specialized personnel to implement and maintain the system. Salesforce capitalized on Siebel's complex and pricey software. Marc Benioff came up with the infamous slogan, "End of software." The end of software campaign was meant to symbolize the death of Siebel Systems. Benioff was trying to communicate to enterprises and businesses that there was no longer any need to buy physical disks from which you'd install some complicated software. All you now had to do was go online and start using the product immediately. Benioff launched multiple guerrilla marketing stunts. One of the most notable stunts occurred at Siebel Systems' annual user conferences in the year 2000. Marc Benioff and his team hired actors to pose as protesters outside the event, holding signs that read, "The End of Software." The bold move not only disrupted Siebel's event, but also positioned Salesforce as a rebellious upstart challenging the industry giants. Salesforce also distributed flyers, placed ads in unexpected locations, and used word-of-mouth marketing to create a sense of excitement and curiosity around its brand. This created major press coverage and took what was a relatively small Salesforce and put it front and center as the main rival of the industry giant, Siebel. Benioff likened Siebel's on-premise model to the mainframe era, while positioning Salesforce as the modern internet-based alternative, revolutionizing the industry like the personal computer had done. These aggressive marketing tactics helped Salesforce capture market share, but the sneaky genius in Benioff's marketing wasn't merely the visibility it gave his company, but the buzz it gave his product. People who signed on to using Salesforce saw themselves as part of a revolution against a Goliath of industry, similar to how people who bought the Macintosh in 1984 felt like they were fighting the big brother, IBM. Rather than seeing how difficult it would be to learn Salesforce's new web-based CRM, they were eager to learn it, to feel part of the revolt against the industry giant. In 2001, Salesforce surpassed 3,000 B2B customers and had revenues of $22.4 million. Salesforce continuously upgraded its platform. In 2003, at Salesforce annual conference, it launched the on-demand application service, S-Force 2.0. The platform became the first one in the world that allowed the creation, hosting, and execution of client service apps. This further grew Salesforce user base, which surpassed 5,000. Its revenues reached over $50 million, and Salesforce had come to employ over 400 people. Off the back of this success in 2004, Salesforce filed an initial public offering and shares began trading on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker symbol CRM. It had a market cap of $1.1 billion and had revenues exceeding $100 million. In 2005, CEO Marc Benioff stood on stage at Salesforce annual conference and declared victory over Siebel Systems. Siebel, Once the dominant force in CRM software had just been acquired by Oracle, Benioff declared that the acquisition was Siebel Systems effectively throwing in the towel in the battle for the dominance of the CRM software market. Siebel had long dominated the CRM software market. However, the disruption caused by cloud-based CRMs was significantly weakening Siebel's stronghold on the CRM market. The growth of the internet meant that cloud-based CRMs increasingly became more convenient and easier to use. Add to that the fact that they price subscriptions per user compared to Siebel's very expensive fixed subscriptions. Companies began transitioning in mass to cloud-based CRMs like Salesforce. Larry Ellison smelt blood in the water and made an acquisition offer. Thomas Siebel was initially against the acquisition. Up until that point, his company had a long competitive history with Oracle. Thomas Siebel had publicly criticized Oracle multiple times, but his company was weakening, growth had slowed. The company's stock price was under a lot of pressure as investors were losing confidence in the company. So in the end, Siebel would be forced to sell the company to Oracle for $5.8 billion. Following the closing of the acquisition, Siebel left the company he had founded to work on a new venture, opting against working for his old boss. This directly set up a showdown between Larry Ellison and another one of his former executives, Marc Benioff, as Oracle went head-to-head with Salesforce for the dominance of the CRM market. By acquiring Siebel Systems, Oracle instantly became a major CRM player. The acquisition also prevented its rivals like Microsoft and SAP from buying Siebel Systems and competing with Oracle more fiercely. In the short term, the deal was genius. At the time of the acquisition, Siebel was the largest CRM provider with more than 4,000 enterprise customers and 3.4 million users. Siebel's customer base in banking, telecom, and retail gave Oracle a strong foothold in enterprise applications. Many large enterprises were locked into Siebel Systems contracts, ensuring stable recurring revenue for Oracle. But in the long term, the deal wasn't much of a success. Larry Ellison's decision to buy Siebel was rooted in the fact that he thought cloud-based CRMs would never be good enough to serve large enterprises. His strategy was to make upgrades to Siebel Systems technology and integrate it into Oracle's ecosystem, which is what he did. But at the same time, Salesforce was on a blazing path of innovation, constantly adding new features and capabilities to CRM software. Throughout the years, Salesforce continuously made upgrades to the CRM platform to the point where it became more powerful than Siebel Systems. Siebel had become a legacy technology that couldn't be adapted to the new landscape of web-based CRMs. Thus, many Siebel customers waited for their contracts to end and then migrated to Salesforce's CRM. Salesforce capitalized on this and continued to improve its platform through several acquisitions. By 2010, Salesforce had become the largest CRM vendor in the world by market share, surpassing Oracle Siebel. It had come to have a dominant 30% market share of the CRM market. And to this day, Salesforce remains the most popular CRM in the world. And Marc Benioff, along with Siebel and Larry Ellison, all became billionaires from the CRM wars. Thank you for watching.